Welcome back to our nugget for today. Let's talk about Abram for a few minutes as someone who fixed their eyes on what is unseen and eternal. Genesis says that Abraham was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. He was so wealthy that the land was not able to support all his flocks, herds, and tents, which led to Lot moving away. Wait a second, you might say. I thought we were supposed to be focusing on laying up treasure in heaven, not on earth. Well, bear with me. We'll get to it in just a minute. Actually, a few of the Bible characters in this week's lesson were described as very wealthy in earthly treasures as well as in heavenly treasures. Abram was also an immigrant, and he lived in different places. Now, one of the hardest questions to answer for me is, where are you from? As a missionary's kid, getting moved around was the norm, and we felt we were from everywhere, but nowhere really. Then, as an adult, we immigrated to Canada, so always still an outsider, not ever really saying, "This is my homeland." Hebrews 13 reminds me that Abram too was a foreigner, an immigrant who was seeking a city whose foundations are built by God. He knew he was a pilgrim on earth, and although he was wealthy, it doesn't sound like he was too attached to his earthly possessions. I think the word perspective comes to mind when we analyze Abram's life. He was able to put his temporary nomadic lifestyle into perspective as something way more inferior to what was waiting for him in heaven. When we lose perspective of the temporal versus permanent, we easily lose our way spiritually. Now, I remember one particular move for me growing up. I was 11 years old, and that was by far the hardest move of my life. I felt the loss of our move away from something so dear to me that I think unconsciously I vowed to never again get too attached to anyone or anything. It came from a place of hurt, not spiritual growth. But I imagine Abram also experienced loss when following God to a land he didn't even know. We generally have to give up something when we follow God wholeheartedly. However, God honored Abram's faithfulness to him and rewarded him with earthly abundance. Because you see, in the long run, it always pays to follow the one true God. Now tune in tomorrow to see how Abram's nephew Lot fared. That's our nugget for today. I'll see you tomorrow.